Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And yesterday we took a look at the top 10 best cards from United Stormwind for Standard. In my opinion, of course, my amazingly accurate opinion. Let's go with that. And today we're going to take a look at the top 10 cards that will impact Wild the most. And some of these are a bit more bold. Wild is definitely very hard to predict. And at the same time, again, disclaimer, don't be like, oh, I gotta craft these cards. They're gonna be so good for Wild because, I mean, come on. I'm wrong all the time. But these are my best bets, my best predictions at it. And again, we'll look back at this in a couple of months, have a good laugh at ourselves, and then make more terrible predictions, probably regarding the mini set. So let's take a look at the Wild cards. So starting off at number 10, we're gonna look at Sketchy Information. Not gonna lie, this one's a bit more of a reach, but I feel like for Rogue, this is viable in multiple decks. You have like the big deck where you get like the Kobold Illusionist or whatever it's called, where you get like the 3/3. It's the Dane card. I'll have the image there. But the other thought I had about it is you could play this in like Odd Rogue and you just run Albatross. You run Bad Luck Albatross and you immediately draw it and deactivate Reno decks, which we know how powerful that can be. I don't know if that's worth it as a tempo loss because you're an odd deck. You're not getting a body on the board. You're just shuffling a couple Albatrosses, but it can be effective. Like we've seen Beneath the Grounds or whatever run in Rogue for that reason. So I feel like with Albatross, with the big Rogue stuff, this card might sneak in as a meta player. So I felt like I had to put it on the list. At number 9, I have Psyfiend, and you're asking yourself, why Psyfiend? 3 mana, 3/4 priest minion after you cast a shadow spell. Deal 2 damage to each hero, and basically I'll just throw this image here. Boom. It's an OTK. You can theoretically OTK with just a few cards with Psyfiend, Test Subject, Radiant Elemental, and just go off and kill your opponent. Is this viable? Probably not, but it doesn't require much cards. It doesn't require much mana, and then boom, your opponent's dead. And maybe this will spawn the new Tiller style deck where they have to ban a card. I don't know. Probably not, but it's a possibility, so I'll throw Psyfiend in there just for that so I can claim like, hey, I knew they were going to break Wild, and now I can make my angry rant video that I love to do whenever they break Wild. At number 8, we have the first Blade of Rin, the Paladin card. 4 mana, 3/5 Divine Shield Battlecry. Gain Rush. This has at least 4 attack. Is a 4 mana, 3/5 Divine Shield minion. It's not the worst thing in the world, but with 1 buff, 1+1+1 buff on this, you have a 4/6 with Rush in. It just gets better and better after that. And Hamba Paladin is a legitimate tier 2 style deck in Wild as it is, and it's getting a lot of support. And I feel like this card will just be really good in there. Why not? It hits 1 buff. It's an incredibly good body that you got to remove, and it curves into that turn where your Conviction is ready to go. Upgrade it on 5 mana. So yeah, first Blade of Rin I feel like just fits perfectly into that the whole hand buff Paladin. And Bodybuilder I'm sure will refine this and make this a very good card, or not. You never know. It might just suck, and I might just be inaccurate and terrible, and why are you watching this video? Anyways, at number 7, we have Ignite. 2 mana, mage spell, fire spell, deal 2 damage, shuffle, and ignite into your deck that deals 1 more damage. When I originally reviewed this, I said for Wild, I think I gave it a 2, that this strategy is too slow, but I am going to be a hypocrite and put it on my list because of this, another combo. Sorcerer's Apprentice, Ignite, Luna. That's an OTK if you have no cards left in your deck. You can accomplish this pretty reliably with Hemet or just the lot of card draw options. The thing I said, though, is it's probably just slower than APM Mage, and it still probably is. But for the reason I put Psyfiend on the list, I'm going to put Ignite on the list just because, well, it's a pretty cool OTK and I want to try it. And if it's good, I'll play it. And then I'll make a rant video about how this is unhealthy for Wild and be a hypocrite again. And I'm really good at doing that. But yeah, I mean, it probably won't work out, but I just wanted to put on the list just to highlight that combo and basically nothing else. At number 6, we have Overdraft. This Shaman card, this Overload based Shaman card. 1 mana, tradable card. Unlock your overloaded mana crystals to deal that much damage. I just feel like if this card is going to break the game, it's going to break the game in Wild, where you have Crackle, you have Lava Burst, you have all these insane burst, burn, overload cards that this can take advantage of. Just go on a full-on aggressive game plan with spell damage. I just feel like Overdraft in Wild can be super degenerate, super good. Or you just play as like a control card where you go like Elemental Destruction and then play Overdraft since it's so cheap. Unlock your mana crystals and remove a bunch of stuff. I just feel like it could fit into multiple things in Shaman, whether it's aggressive or, like I said, even a control strategy. So look out for Overdraft. It legitimately looks like it could be a very powerful card in Wild, in Standard too, for sure. Next we have, I think one of the two quest lines I have on this list is Defend the Dwarven District, the quest line for Hunter that effectively makes your hero power 0, target anything, and refreshes after you cast a spell. And with all the spell stuff and all the draw you have available in Hunter in Wild compared to Standard, this just seems like it could do a lot of work in Standard, or Wild, sorry. And you have Dragonbane. Dragonbane with this card is phenomenal, dealing 5 damage to a random enemy, every hero power. It's like its own Spawn of Shadows. It doesn't just go face though, so in some ways it's worse, in some ways it's better. But overall, I just feel like if this card is going to take off as a legitimate tier 1-2 style card, I feel like Wild's its best shot, but I also feel like it could work in Standard. It's definitely a good Standard card. I just think in Wild it can really shine, and you can make it a Highlander deck. You can really go for the Rito Raza style of gameplay there. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Warrior Minion Harbor Scamp. 2-mana 2/2 pirate, draw pirate. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that draws another pirate. Why would you not want to play this in Pirate Warrior? Ever. Or just play it with to tutor your Risky Skipper or something like that. Like, this is just ridiculously good. Novice Engineer was a 2-mana 1/1 that drew a card. That was decent. This is a 2-mana 2/2 pirate that draws a specific card. And I think a certain quest line is going to be pretty good. We'll get to that. It's just a really good card. Like, I don't really have to explain too much about this and why it's so good in Wild, where Pirate Warrior is pretty good in Wild. And I think it's getting a lot better with a lot of these pirates. And yeah, Harbor Scamp just feels like an auto include, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. It's just a really good card. At number 3, and as I mentioned, I think Hamba Paladin is going to get better in Wild. This is the main reason why. Alliance Bannerman. 3-mana 2/2 Paladin minion, Battlecry, draw minion, get minions to your hand +1/+1. Hamba Paladin's good. This card is maybe the best Hamba Paladin card we've ever seen, because not only does it do the buff, it draws a minion. It tutors out a minion that it immediately buffs on top of that. Hand buff cards are all either rush or other draw cards or other hand buff cards, so you're always drawing a relatively relevant minion, and the buff is just phenomenal. This card is just super good in that archetype. And heck, you could run this just as a draw engine, like in a mid-range deck or whatever. It's just so good. This card is so good, and Hand Buff Paladin will absolutely love it, and I expect it to perform relatively well. Hell, maybe even run an odd Paladin. I know, it's a possibility. Not a great one, but it certainly is a possibility. At number 2, we have the Warrior questline, which is a pirate questline. Raid the Docks, where you have to play 3 pirates and then play some more pirates. Play more pirates, and you get your giant ship, you get your unbelievable value generator and dealing 2 damage, you're getting a weapon, summoning a pirate, and I just think this card, I don't know how like powerful it is, if it's better than straight up Pirate Warrior, but I'm making a prediction right now. I've seen how popular like the Unite the Murlocs quest is. People still love to play that. They love to play like the get random spells in Mage quest all the time. I can't even remember what the name of it is. I'll put the picture of it up. But this card, I am predicting today, in like a year from now, will be the most popular card in Wild across all ranks, because this card just encapsulates everything that people love. It's just fun. You play pirates, you get to go face, you get to shoot cannons, the flavor is off the charts. People are just going to love Raid the Docks, and it's going to shine more than anywhere else in Wild, where you have patches. And I know patches doesn't count to activating the quest, but it doesn't matter. It's you're getting patches and all that stuff. This card is just cool. It's amazingly flavorful. People will love it regardless of how good it is, and I think it'll be pretty good too. So it's on the list this high just because I just know how much people are going to love this card and are just going to play the death out of it regardless of how good it is. And number 1 on my list, most powerful or best Wild card, I gotta give it to Entitled Customer. And you're like, wait, a 6-mana 3/2 is your number 1 card? Look at that battle cry. Battle cry, deal damage equal to your hand size to all their minions. Reno Lock, Cube Lock, Hand Lock, like all these decks that don't care about the board that early are going to play this. Even Lock as well. Like, it's just so good. You have just say 4 cards in your hand, which you're gonna have more than that. That's a Flame Strike or under Flame Strike back in the day. It clears everything. And then you have a 3-2 on the board. You have some tempo, and then you just develop your late game and you win the game. Shaman or Warlock, sorry, has some of the best late game period, especially going to like Gul'dan, Zoth, Archwitch Willow. You could go into Godfrey to clear again if you need to. It's just unbelievably good board clear, and the control Warlock decks are going to absolutely love this card. I can't wait to play this Arena Lock. In a lot of ways, it's just better than Twisting Nether, and it's 6 mana. It's 6 mana. Ridiculous card. It's so good, and I'm glad to see that AoE gets an insane amount of support. So there you go. Those are my 10 picks for Wild. I'm sure they're terrible. I'm sure they'll be wrong, but hey, we'll be able to make fun of myself in a couple of months. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.